Okay, let's unpack this.
Hmm.
Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. This is where we take raw information, could be research papers, news analysis, sometimes even actual intelligence reports like today's,
Right.
and we really try to pull out those vital nuggets of knowledge. The goal is to help you become truly well-informed, but, without feeling completely overwhelmed by it all.
Absolutely cutting through the noise.
Exactly. And today we're doing something, well, a little different.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Our source material is an actual daily intelligence report. Specifically, it's labeled Intelligence Report 15.7.2025.pdf.
So the brief for Tuesday, July 15th, 2025.
Precisely. And this amazing report is produced by Nextsight.
Yes, next site. They're a global intelligence company.
That's right. They specialize in global intelligence, and what's really fascinating is they develop their own open source intelligence platform.
Which are incredibly valuable tools leveraging, publicly available data.
Stuff like satellite imagery, social media trends, even commercial shipping manifests.
All sorts of things to uncover patterns and insights. Really powerful for investigators globally.
Definitely. And if you're curious about their work, you should check them out. The website is www.next-site.com.
Worth a look.
So, okay, we don't have the detailed intelligence within the report itself, obviously.
Understandably.
But just looking at the topics covered in a daily brief like this, well, that alone can offer some pretty profound insights, can't it, into what the world's most critical observers are actually focusing on.
Oh, absolutely. That's the key point here.
Here's where it gets really interesting, I think. When you just look at the table of contents of global intelligence for a given day, what does that tell us about the state of the world?
That's a great question to start with. What's fascinating here is precisely that. Even just the broad categories of the specific headlines within a report like this.
Mm-hmm.
It instantly encapsulates the day's critical global flashpoints, the emerging trends.
It's like getting a high-level strategic brief.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without needing to read every single classified detail. It reveals, sort of at a glance, what the priorities are for those tracking global events.
And how interconnected things are.
And just how deeply interwoven these issues have become. Yeah.
So let's try and navigate this global intelligence landscape then, region by region, just as it's laid out in the report structure.
Okay.
Starting with North America, right away we see two pretty significant areas highlighted. First, U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports escalate trade tensions.
Right. A persistent issue.
Yeah, this isn't just a simple economic headline, though, is it? What does the fact that an intelligence report highlights this tell us about, well, global power dynamics right now?
Well, it tells us that economic measures are really front and center. They're a key strategic pressure point.
Uh-huh.
Tariffs aren't just, commercial tools anymore. They've become integral to geopolitical maneuvering. It signals a pretty fundamental shift in how nations compete and exert influence.
Almost a form of economic warfare.
You could certainly see it that way, yeah.
Okay, fascinating. And the second key topic listed for North America is cyber attack warnings tied to geopolitical conflicts.
Another critical link.
So does this suggest these are purely reactive cyber attacks, or is it maybe pointing towards a more proactive use of cyber as like a tool of statecraft?
Generally, the intelligence community sees these warnings as indicators of sophisticated activity, often state-sponsored.
Yeah.
It's not just about reacting after something happens. It's about understanding cyber capabilities as an integrated part of a geopolitical strategy.
So not isolated incidents.
Not usually. They're often deliberate, calculated moves, maybe to disrupt, maybe gather intelligence, maybe just project power without, direct military confrontation.
Okay. From North America, let's pivot to Europe. The report clearly marks the central issues there. Ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict spurs sanctions. That's still a major focus.
Unsurprisingly, yes.
And then, related to that, UK asset divestments from Russia.
Mm-hmm. Following the money trail.
The intelligence report highlighting the ongoing nature of these sanctions, that really suggests a prolonged economic pressure campaign, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The continued focus on sanctions, and specifically mentioning divestments, it signals that economic warfare isn't just an immediate punishment.
It's a long game.
It's become a sustained, long-term tool in this conflict. It reflects this ongoing effort to, economically isolate and weaken adversaries.
With effects reaching far beyond the conflict itself.
Oh, definitely. Ripple effects impacting global markets, supply chains,
Mm-hmm.
far beyond the immediate players.
And those ripples certainly seem to extend to the Middle East and North Africa, MNA, as it's often called in these circles.
Right.
This section highlights the escalation in Israel-Hamas conflict. That's flagged as a critical ongoing
A
concern.
major flashpoint.
And alongside that, we also see sanctions on Middle Eastern trade routes. What's the broader implication there? Sanctions hitting trade routes in such a historically vital commercial region.
It really indicates how conflict directly impacts global commerce and logistics, not just through, say, physical disruption, but through these targeted economic measures. Sanctions on trade routes in MANA don't just affect the regional economies. They can reroute global shipping, increase costs, create bottlenecks.
Revealing another layer of economic vulnerability.
Exactly.
Another layer.
Okay, moving down the map to sub-Saharan Africa. The report points to the economic impact of these global dynamics, specifically noting commodity price volatility from global sanctions.
Yeah, the knock-on effects again.
What does this highlight about the fragility, maybe, of the global economy when it's subjected to these widespread measures?
It really underscores the interconnectedness. And yes, the fragility of global supply chains and commodity markets.
Because sanctions aimed elsewhere still hit hard here.
Precisely. Sanctions might target specific nations, but their effects cascade. Developing economies, especially those relying heavily on maybe one or two commodities, they become highly vulnerable to price swings, market disruptions. So economic stability in one region is tied to geopolitical stability elsewhere.
Increasingly so, yes.
From there, our intelligence brief takes us to the Asia-Pacific region,
Okay.
and a very specific trade control stands out. China export restrictions on rare earths.
Ah, yes. That's significant.
For anyone tracking global supply chains, this is critical, right? These elements are essential for everything from phones and EVs to advanced defense systems. What's the strategic takeaway here from an intel perspective?
It's a clear signal of resource weaponization, or the potential for it at least.
Using resources as leverage.
Exactly. Control over rare earths gives significant leverage. In high-tech industries, national security. The report highlighting this indicates that access to critical raw materials is seen as a key strategic vulnerability.
And a potential pressure point.
A major pressure point in global competition. It's not just about trade anymore. It's about technological and industrial dominance.
Right. And then moving over to South Asia, two major points flagged here.
Hmm.
First, India trade responses to global tariffs. So that's a direct reaction to the economic pressures we talked about earlier.
Connecting the dot.
And second, geopolitical shifts in regional alliances. Now that sounds significant. Suggests a dynamic, evolving power landscape.
Very much so.
What are intelligence analysts really watching for when they flag geopolitical shifts like this?
They're looking for indicators of power realignment. Basically, who's siding with whom.
Uh-huh.
Shifting alliances can signal, well, a reevaluation of national interest, maybe a response to new threats, or just strategic repositioning because of these broader global dynamics.
Trying to anticipate future cooperation or competition.
Exactly. And how that will reshape regional stability and ultimately global stability, too. These shifts rarely happen in a vacuum,
Okay. And finally, our regional overview concludes with Latin America.
Right.
Here, the report identifies Brazil economic impacts from global conflicts, again showing how even geographically distant conflicts have economic consequences.
The reach is truly global.
And then a broader point, regional instability from trade disputes, tying back perhaps to the trade tensions we noted way back in North America.
It does. It really illustrates that reach you mentioned.
So what does this tell us about how far these global economic conflicts stretch?
It shows that the economic impacts aren't confined anymore, not just to the participants or nearby regions. They create this kind of global economic drag,
Affecting markets everywhere.
influencing markets, investment, even social stability in places far removed from the actual fighting or the initial dispute. It's a testament to how deeply intertwined the global economy has become. A trade dispute in one hemisphere really can fuel instability in another.
What's also quite telling, I think, is that alongside these regional breakdowns, the report explicitly includes broader sections, things like public sentiment and rumors, and also sources.
Yes, that's important.
This isn't just about being transparent, is it? What does including something like rumors highlight about how modern intelligence gathering works?
It highlights a crucial evolution, I think, integrating public sentiment, what some call ground truth, or maybe even human intelligence lead.
Right.
Integrating that with rigorously verified data from multiple sources, including open source intelligence like NextSight develops. It creates a much more holistic, more nuanced picture.
So acknowledging that public mood matters.
It acknowledges that public mood, even rumor, can be an indicator, maybe of underlying tensions, maybe future events. But then, crucially, you need to cross-reference that with hard facts from diverse sources.
Building a comprehensive assessment.
Exactly, connecting all the dots from all the available information streams.
So when we step back and look at this whole structure, what does it all mean? Even without seeing the detailed intelligence on each page. The sheer breadth of these interconnected global events highlighted daily in a report like this, it's kind of staggering.
It really is.
The topics themselves tell a powerful story, don't they? About global tension points, economic interdependencies, political maneuvering, all shaping our world right now.
Indeed. It reinforces that idea that just understanding what topics are considered vital intelligence that helps us grasp the current global state, irrespective of the specific details inside.
Like seeing the blueprint.
It's like getting the strategic blueprint of a vast, complex novel. You understand the key plot points, the main character motivations, even if you haven't read every single sentence. It shifts your perspective on what truly matters for global stability.
That's a powerful way to put it. And this deep dive really shows, I think, that even a high-level overview of an intelligence brief, well, it can offer an incredible shortcut to understanding this complex global landscape.
It certainly can.
And remember, our insights today were drawn from that daily intelligence report produced by Nextsight.
An amazing report, yeah.
They're the global intelligence company we mentioned, known for their work developing those open-source intelligence platforms that help investigators globally.
Really cutting-edge stuff.
And again, we encourage you, check out www.next-site.com to learn more about the work they do.
Definitely do that. And maybe this raises an important question for you, the listener, to consider.
Okay.
How does this daily flow of intelligence, even just seeing its summarized topics like we've discussed, how does that influence our collective understanding of global stability and those subtle shifts happening just beneath the headlines? What else might be connected here that isn't immediately obvious just from the titles alone? And how might that hidden connection influence decisions on a global scale?
Powerful questions to ponder, something to really think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into, well, some surprising new knowledge today.
My pleasure.
We'll be back soon with more fascinating insights. Until then, stay curious.